Vagnone, and I am here with, the preacher that helped me write my book, brought me closer to Christ, and is absolutely one of my dearest friends. We talked last night, and he said that my next guest is one of his favorite people of all time. Now, if that isn't a pedestal to stand on for the introduction, I am getting ready to speak with Kendra Cooke, the corporate sales director with Core Training, the country's leading coaching organization for mortgage and real estate professionals. Kendra, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
How did you get Dr. Roy Mason to feel that special about you? What is it you did?
I don't know, but I'm grateful for it. I adore he and his wife very much. I met them through the Core, and he is our chaplain for the staff, and he holds me accountable in my walk of faith and at the office, and he's an incredible man, so that feeling is very mutual.
And I want people to hear this. How many corporations do you know of that have a corporate pastor? That says it all about Core Training. I happen to be very good friends with your founder, Rick Ruby. We smoke cigars together. And there's a couple of things. I went to your website. Quite frankly, it's why I called Roy yesterday, because I went to the website. I saw some of your videos. It is a phenomenal website. Please go to thecoretraining.com, and look for Kendra's videos. They are fabulous. But I must say, watching some of your videos, it's like I saw Roy in you, right? So I called Roy and I said, hey, do you know this person? Because I got to be honest with you, this sounds a whole lot like some of the Bible studies I've been in with you.
Absolutely. He pours into us, and we're really fortunate to have him on staff with us.
So there's something that I pulled from your website that I think is just really cool, and then we'll dig into this, and that is there are two laws that anybody that works with Core must absolutely be a part of. Number one, you must save 20% of your taxable income every month. And number two, you must replenish your pipeline with more units than you close. It's like the core of what it is you guys do. And I love that, right? Now, I've heard that from Rick for years. Walk me through how you formed this relationship with Core, because it sounds like you've been with them a while.
I have. So I am a real estate agent by trade. I am from the Middle Tennessee area, and just being painfully honest, I was not in a great place in my business. I was working a lot of hours, systems very broken, and was doing great. Everybody, that looked at me said, "Oh my gosh, you're Realtor of the Year, and you have it all together." And then you pull back my curtain, and my life's a mess, right? I'm not going home to my family at night. I'm not saving 20%. If I had checks, I thought I had money, and so I was chasing business. And I met someone one day for lunch. It was a lender, and he had a book, and I kept asking him questions about the book. There was a tree on the back, and each branch had a word. It had marketing, and it had savings, and the trunk of the tree said accumulate wealth. And I thought, wow, I have nothing, and I'm working myself to death. Love what I do, but really not doing it well. And so he introduced me to the Core. He was a lender. I was a realtor. There was an event. So I literally took a chance that my credit card would go through. I went to the event. I called home every break and told my husband, I can't afford to do it, can't afford not to. And he said, something's got to change. And so by the grace of God, I found the Core in 2004 in November, started coaching with them in January of 2005, and it has forever changed my life.
And that book, I think, is called The Blue Beast.
The Blue Beast.
That's right.
It sure is, yes. And so I coached. It's a 2-year commitment in our highest level of coaching, where you do have to sell more than you close every month, and you're saving 20%. But we dig into the business of the profitability, accumulating wealth, tracking every lead that's coming in, where it's coming from, your conversion rate, every dollar coming in, every dollar coming out. And that was such a foreign concept for me as a 1099 self-employed person. As a realtor, we don't learn that in real estate school.
Yeah, let's back up, and I apologize to the listeners. I know a lot about Core because I've known Rick for years, right? And so let's make sure everybody really understands what Core Training is all about, because I want them to understand something. I have not met a businessman that has given me more advice. I get mine for free, you understand, because I smoke cigars with him, than your founder has given me. the core of core training is absolute accountability, and he literally starts with a P&L. You're not gonna, there's no joke in here, right? There's no, I did great last week. That just doesn't work. And there's something that you've got on your website that I think is great, that kind of defines the best realtors and mortgage brokers in the country are part of this program.
Right.
This is not for everybody. This is for the best of the best, right?
Absolutely.
And there's 4 major components to a great business: vision, structure, systems, and accountability. And all of those are part of something that Rick Ruby says you have to surrender to the process to make it work. Talk about that surrendering at the very beginning when you started this process.
So, yes, we are an elite coaching company for realtors and lenders, and we teach you how to run the business like a business, which is a foreign concept, especially on the real estate side. So, surrendering to the process means you come in and you literally lay everything out on the table, whether it's your lead generation, your finances, your marriage, your situation, and we work with the whole person. So personally, spiritually, financially, so you have to surrender. And so when I get a new coaching student, they always say, you've done this for 15 years. What's the best advice you would give me? And I just jokingly say, get naked faster. Rip the Band-Aid off, show us your money situation, be honest about your personal situation, your family, every avenue of your business we can coach you on if you just get real with us.
I know a lot of coaches. I don't know any better than Rick Ruby and the core training, period, right? And when I say that, I'm saying that after speaking with over 650 different small business people and coaches over the last 6 or 7 years. I think that's the core of it. You're going to show them your P&L. We're going to talk about savings. I went to go pick up Rick one day. This is a few years ago. And sometimes I got to force him out of his office. You understand,
yes, you
right?
do.
You know what I mean? And I walked in there, and he was on the phone. He does always coaching with video and that sort of stuff. And I interrupted him, and God bless him, he took a minute to talk with me. And I couldn't help but glance down at his desk, and he had this sheet that was laminated. Now, this is a very successful man, multi-millionaire, and on his desk, he's got this laminated sheet that talks about personal goals and business goals. I mean, very detailed. How much cash he wanted to save this month, right? How much cash he wanted in the bank, and he shows it to me. He turns it around and hands it to me and said, this is the kind of stuff we do here at the core. And you've got to be really open yourself up to a coach to get started in that direction.
Yeah, so we set goals every year at our November event, and we work on 7 boxes of life, from work, money, spirituality, friends, marriage, self, and family. And so you have 7 boxes that you set 2 very specific, tangible goals in November, and we start January 1st, and your coach holds you accountable to those. And it is all about what you want to save or what you want to make, and we're very transparent. That's the thing that really resonated with me at my first event, that I thought I was a really big dog in my own town.
Right.
And, winning accolades and such, and then you go to this event and you're like, wow, I am nobody compared to the people that are
when
here.
I say best of the best, I mean absolutely the best.
Absolutely. Yes.
So now, Kendra, how did you pack up and move to their brand new corporate headquarters in Cornelius, North Carolina? How'd that happen?
Well, Rick's business partners, Todd Screama and Rita Casey. Rita Casey is his real estate partner, and Todd and Rick are the lender partners. And they started the company in 2001 with the motto, creating millionaires. And I love that. That's why I bought into the concept. So I went through.
And it's a true statement.
It is a true statement. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I went through the program 2 years, and then came on as a coach in my 3rd year in the program. And I have followed Rita and Rick. Whatever they tell me to do, that's what I've done. I've been the best student I could be. And so as Rita starts to wind down her career, they selected me to come and fill her shoes. And I don't know that I can do a great job of filling her shoes.
I was going to say, there's some shoes there.
But she has been my mentor going on 15 years, she and Rick. And, when you talk about mentors, you can have some guys, but you can really bond with the same sex, obviously, with Rita and I being a female. And so I have followed her, and she has coached me and trained me for my whole career, basically, the last 15 years. And so when they made me the offer, I said, no, not yet. I'm going to stay a couple more years in real estate. But if you know Rick, as you do, he's super persuasive. But my husband and I literally sat down and prayed about it. And my husband said, this opportunity might not be here in 2 years. And we were empty nesters. It was a perfect fit. I will tell you that I've been here 16 months now. And my husband says every day, you are so much more full of joy because you're really following your passion. So the core is giving me an avenue to pay it forward. Rita and Rick have poured into me, and now I get to go back and pour into people and bring them up. So I'm grateful.
So let's do this. I know a lot of real estate coaches, right? And the accountability factor for me seems to be the core of this. Your statement is get naked quick. I love that, right? I mean, because it really is true. You're not going to hide something from the core, or you're not going to be in the system, right? I mean, it just doesn't work that way. So that's a different type of realtor.
Yes. So when I talk to people about why they want to get in the core, I say we have 3 things that we're really different from any other coaching company, which makes us the elite of the elite, if you will. Number 1, all of our coaches are active in the industry. So we're not telling you what we did 20 years ago or 30 years ago. We're currently in the trenches with you. So if you're dealing with an inventory issue, we're dealing with the same issue. If you're dealing with a rate issue, we're dealing with the same rate issue. So we know what's going on. Number 2 is we talk about the money. Nobody really wants to talk about the money. We don't learn about it in real estate school. It's not something that people want to talk about in the streets, but we get down to the down and dirty. What is your taxable income? Not the gross commission that you earn. You got to take everything out of that, and then what the true money is. And then the third piece is accountability. No one will hold you to the level of accountability that the core will, because we will get in the boat with you and we will rip the Band-Aid off and we will make you successful.
And keep in mind what I know about the core is literally through Rick smoking cigars. So when Rick talks to me, it's just flippant, relaxing. He's not working, right? And he has said some things to me that I have put in my business that have been phenomenal. One of the statements he made to me was big conversations equal big money.
Absolutely.
It is a huge statement that I have spoke with and worked with and been self-employed since I'm 17 years old. And that statement it just resonated with me, because when you get up in the morning and you've got a hard conversation, it reaches you, it touches you. Now, either do I want to go after that or not, right? And when you're working with somebody like Rick and the core, you absolutely get it, right? And you're prepped at the beginning. This big conversation equals big money. So you gear up and you prepare for it.
Right. And most of our students come to us to raise their income. Obviously, they want to get more profitable, and that's really something we focus on. So if you want to get more profitable quickly, then you make the big calls. And so we call them whales at the core. We chase whales. So if you're a realtor chasing a whale, you're going to chase somebody like an HR director or a headhunter, recruiter, financial planner, someone who has a big book of business that can refer you multiple times throughout the year. So it's leveraging one relationship for big gains. And a lot of people are very scared to make those big calls because they think, well, if I don't have something to give them back, they're not going to take my call. And the truth of the matter is they need us as much as we need them, because they have clients that they need to refer to a successful realtor who does business right. And so when we can form those relationships, the financial planner or the headhunter wins, and the realtor wins, and the client wins, because they have two great people on both sides of their life that's going to make sure they're taken care of.
And then the next thing that Rick introduced me to is so simplistic. Get on the phone. Start calling people. He introduced me to something that I know you guys consider to be second nature, but the power hour, where you just that's your time to get on the phone and start calling people. And I can remember him first suggesting that to me. I'm like, give me a break, man. You know what I mean? And once you started giving yourself time to make those calls, then you start to decide, where am I going to spend this hour? Who am I going to call in this hour? And it becomes the most productive part of a day. It is a spectacular statement, and literally he makes it like, it's just sort of a, Joe, we got to get you on a power hour. Just, that statement alone was so simplistic, but it absolutely has turned my lead generation completely around.
Absolutely. And usually what happens with realtors, and I speak about realtors because I am one.
Sure.
And but we would rather spend money chasing business than getting on the phone and attracting business. And so the phone taught me that it's free, and if you haven't gotten cussed out in real estate, you haven't lived. So pick up the phone and make the call. But the fact that I'm more profitable if I'm on the phone and my relationships are deepened, which enhances my referrals for my lead generation, and the leads that come to me through a referral are so much more loyal and respectful of my time, my knowledge, the system that I present to them. So yeah, the phone is unbelievable, but a lot of people shy away from it because they feel they're going to get rejected. Well, that's sales 101.
And that's what I'm saying. It's so simplistic, but that is the core of the core, right? Let's
Simple.
get back to the basics. Pick up the phone.
Yes.
The next thing that Rick Ruby asked me to do, and keep in mind, I got all this for free, by the way. So he said, start sending thank you notes. I mean, come on, I don't want to do that. I spell like crap, and my writing's really bad. And okay, I'll try it. And matter of fact, for a while, I would have Julie actually send them out, so I didn't have to, right? I'm too busy to be, sending thank you notes out. And Rick found out that I had somebody else actually sending those out, and he said, "No way, man, you got to sign it yourself." And I said, "Well, listen, I don't write good, I don't spell." He said, "I don't care what you say on it. I don't care if you scribble. You have to do it." And I started doing that. It is phenomenal. Matter of fact, I love it so much. It's part of my lead generation system. Anybody I meet, anybody I contact with, it goes through it's how we track in our database who I've contacted, right? And so through that process, we've even got personalized cards made, and the people and the contacts and the connections that will call me and thank me for the thank you card is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is remarkable.
Well, the state of the art, if you will, if that's what we want to call it, handwritten notes, is gone away. We're into email and we're into texting, and the core, we harp on relationship-based businesses. So we are not of the mindset of chasing leads. We are in the mindset of building relationships and gaining referrals. And so the handwritten note just seals those relationships. It goes a little deeper. And I know personally for me, we have to write 2 a day. Our goal is to write 10 every week. And I know for me, when I receive a handwritten note, it is so impactful for me to know that, hey, somebody slowed down long enough to write this. And if you've ever seen Rick Ruby's handwriting, you know he definitely writes his own cards. Some you can decipher, some you can't. But I think it goes really far from the owner of our company when he sends a birthday card to all 485 of our top level coaching students every year, and he handwrites every single one of them.
One more thing, and then I want to go to break, and then I'm going to get both of you guys together, so we can dig into some of this stuff. But I was surprised when I got to your website that there's so much social media and sort of electronic lead generation, conversation and talking and that sort of stuff. Because remember, I know your founder, and he's still got a flip phone.
He
right?
does.
He doesn't text, and
doesn't even have a computer on his desk.
Right. So what that tells me is that somebody's doing it for him, right? So
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that, because I think that's what's going to have to happen to people my age that haven't got into this whole concept of social media and that sort of stuff. Still, we got to find somebody to be able to do that for you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and so we are definitely relationships. We are phones. We're belly to belly. We're handwritten notes. But you also have to meet your clients where they are. So we have clients in every generation, if you will, that we coach, and so they want to go to social media to get their information, or they want to go to our website and download a podcast versus calling one of us and asking a question about a topic. So we meet our clients where we are. We try to cover every avenue, but we definitely have a whole marketing team. There is someone who specializes in our videos, our marketing design, graphics, someone who maintains our websites, our podcasts. So it is a whole part of our organization, because we do have to have some kind of social media and internet presence, because we are in 2019.
One of the things I hear often is ask for the referrals. That is like a basic statement that few people do well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. If you don't ask, you won't receive. and nothing comes to those who waits. Those are two of Rick's very big mottos, if you will. And so we program all of our clients to ask their database, everybody in their past client database, business database, all the different people that make up their entire database, to program them for one referral per year. So let's say you've got a 500-person database, and 15% of those people will move every 5 years, right? So if you just ask 500 people to give you a referral, besides the 15% that are going to move, if you had 500 leads and you converted 20% of those, you just doubled your income just for asking.
You
right?
got Dan over there nodding, because you're talking details now. You understand that?
So you've got to ask to receive. And it's so shocking for me that you wouldn't ask for a referral if you did your best, you provided a great service, you delivered on time without any hiccups. And even if there were a minor hiccup, if you ate the elephant, addressed the problem quickly, ironed it out, got the problem taken care of, why would you not go back and say, hey, do you know somebody else just like you, Joe, that's going to be moving in the next 6 months that I can take great care of, just like I took care of you?
One of your top coaches, he's no longer with you. He's moved on, but he was taught. He was a mentor. Rick Ruby, absolutely, he would consider his mentor. Told me that you need to ask for the referral in the middle of your relationship. I found that really interesting too. When things are good, when things are positive, ask for a referral in the middle of the process.
Yeah, I teach all my students to ask 3 times. So we ask at the beginning. We tell them, we're going to ask for referrals. So I'm going to give you this sheet that says, I need your help. We're going to ask for 2 referrals throughout the process, hopefully, so I did a great enough job that you're going to give it to me. Then we ask again in the middle, because everybody they're talking to is about buying or selling a house. If they know somebody else that needs our services, they can refer us. And then at the end, we followed up by asking again. So all 3 times.
Okay, so we got to go, but I just love talking with you. But I'm going to get Dan on. So here's my last question for you on this segment. You're getting ready to bring this accountability coach on board, right? You're working with people in your organization. How do you get that buy-in? Because if you start to change, they're going to have to change as well, right? So walk me through some of that. And how did your husband fit in? Because when you sign up for the core, you're signing up for personal finances and that sort of stuff. So your husband's got to be part of the team that buys into this, right?
Absolutely. If he were here, he would tell you that we got coaching for 2 for the price of 1, because it changed our marriage, our finances, and everything. But yes, so when we do not allow anyone to sign up on site when we do an event. We don't want it to be a heat of the moment, because it is a huge investment and time commitment. So we have them go home, fill out an intent form, go home, and then we do a phone interview. And we ask specific questions. Are your spouse or partner involved in your finances? Do they know what this is going to cost? Are they going to be a part of your coaching? Because again, you do have to give up a lot of information. And the first 6 months to a year is committing a lot of time, because a lot of times it's turning your business around, restructuring it. If you're buying leads, there's leads coming in, you're not as equipped to give your heart and soul to those leads, versus if everything coming in is a referral, you're going to jump and go a little more than you would, for a cold lead. So they need to know that the time investment is going to be a little bigger on the front end. The financial investment is going to be there. And then the getting real with everything that's going on in your life is going to be exposed to your coach, throughout the process. So we do get the buy-in of the spouse at the interview time as well, so we don't have any hiccups down the road.
Okay, let's take a break, and I'm going to get both of you guys together, and let's kind of dig in. I'm going to let each one of you ask some questions if you want. We are talking with Kendra Cooke. She is a corporate sales director for the Core Training, the country's leading coaching organization for mortgage and real estate professionals. You can go to thecoretraining.com. We're also talking with Dan, outsourcing sales expert and sales acceleration, specializing in building custom sales strategies and sales processes. You can reach him at salesacceleration.com. That's a whole lot of work, because we've got a whole lot of brain power here. Let's take a break. We're going to come back. If it's Friday morning, your business matters.